The Good Buddies Anime Podcast is hosted by two rowdy, foul-mouthed American cowboys. Listener discretion is advised.
Hey, Good Buddies, what's up? Welcome to the Good Buddies Anime Show. I am your Good Buddy Roger.
And I am your good buddy Brandon.
I really spat that one out there fast.
Yeah, man, you got there. You did it.
Yeah, I got there. We're doing a fun one. We haven't done, it's not a review or anything. We haven't done one of these in a while. Since kind of mid last year was the last.
We're having a little fun with it.
Yeah, probably because I don't know how much anime you watch, but I ain't watched that much.
Oh, this guy.
Something happened that kind of gave me the idea for this.
Oh, what happened, Roger? What have you spent the entire past week and a half doing?
Well, I played a couple of days of Cyberpunk to pass the time, but
same.
I was waiting for Elden Ring to come out, so I've only played Elden Ring in any spare moments that I had.
Oh my god!
So it got me thinking. Brandon. My brain was pumping. We're like, what are we going to talk about? I didn't watch it. Am I going to lie to the people about an anime that I ain't seen before?
Nah, he's not going to do that. That'd be dishonest. He would never.
I'm gonna make some bullshit up. We're going to talk about a video game property that we would love to see be translated into anime.
Yes, and we did something similar to this before, where we did just whatever property, media,
anything
whatever,
you wanted. Yeah, this is going to be more narrowed, and maybe we can dig back into that well more and do more niche.
Yes, to be fair, one of mine, we did two on that one. I'm going to do one this time, but one of mine was Smash Bros, which obviously is a video game.
Yeah,
yeah, good old time. But we each brought one that we think would make a pretty good anime. And who's going first? You want me to go first?
I want you to go first, dude.
All right,
I think I went first on both the other ones. So
all right, buddy, I'll go first then. So for mine, we're gonna get right into it. I struggle with this one honestly because first I was thinking okay, what are some genres of games I would like to see translated into an anime. For example, I'm a big fan of these roguelikes, Hades, Returnal, Rogue Legacy, those kind of things. Mm-hmm. But that's basically just a time loop anime, but dumb because it's a time loop. But then imagine it's Groundhog Day, but then he wakes up and the city's all rearranged. So it's not even a time loop. It's just different every time. That ain't gonna work. And then I was like, okay, what about something that's close to an anime anyway? I really like that Oni game. You remember that one on PlayStation 2?
Oh yeah, I loved that game. It was hard as fuck though.
Oh, I loved it. I beat it a few times.
It might have been. It wasn't Bungie's first game, but I think it was.
It was the only one that Bungie, that specific branch of Bungie, worked on.
Yeah.
It was them and Rockstar who did Oni, and it's very heavily inspired by freaking Ghost in the Shell. It may as well just be a Ghost in the Shell game.
Yeah, I think I got it over there somewhere.
I've got it at home. That game kicks ass. There's a few Doki Doki Literature Club. Mm-hmm. That could be a fun, kind of slice of life that turns into psychological horror, hint, hint. But I ended up going with some. I thought, no, what I want to do is I want to think of a game that has story and or mechanics that I think could work as an anime. What I went for was one from, I've talked about Hades on here before, another game from that same studio, Supergiant Studios. Same folks that made Hades, probably my favorite game studio personally. Originally, this game came out on the PS4, PC, later adapted to the Switch, iOS. You can get it on your iPhone. You can get it on your Apple TV, apparently. I didn't even know that. This one's called Transistor from 2014. You do have this game.
Yep.
You never played it, did you?
I played it once.
You played it a little bit.
I thought it was fun.
Yeah. It's pretty interesting. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the game, and then I'll talk about why I think it translates good into anime. So it's an action game. You play as Red, a beautiful songstress who runs around the city with a glowing sword that's also a computer. Also, the sword talks because her dead boyfriend is in there. Yeah. There's a lot going on here. To make that long story pretty short, this futuristic city called Cloudbank is being digitized by the Process, these hive mind of robots that are controlled by a shadowy cabal called the Camerata. As much as a shadowy cabal can control a bunch of robots, I mean, it's basically gray goo. You know what I'm saying? These things, these bots are going around integrating the city and everything in it. Buildings and homes and streets are transformed into these weird white polymer cube looking things. And so are people. Their minds, however, become programs called functions that you can befriend and collect into the computer sword Pokemon style to gain access to new attacks and abilities. Like now Red can do a dash or summon a bomb or pull enemies closer, that kind of stuff. And that right there is where the party begins. Because, okay, go with me here. See, a lot of the action-y drama in these shonens and stuff comes, these types of games and shows, comes from introducing a system. You set limits within that system, and then you watch our heroes break those limits to beat the impossible boss, or to get past this seemingly insurmountable odd. So Deku, for example, MHA, super strong, his body can't handle it, so he learns to shoot wind blasts with his fingers, and then he uses kicks with shoot style, etc., etc. So in this game, and in the show I'm pitching, Red only has so many attacks, yeah? But let's say, for example, she's in the game, this is a mechanic in the game and something in the show, she can combine them into new and more powerful things. So let's say she's getting beat down by an army of these robots. There's like dozens of them. They're zooming in, hitting her. She's getting beat up. It's like that one episode of Vivi, right? But when all seems lost, she turns the tide by combining a dash with the pull ability, so she avoids the attack and pulls all of them into one spot, because that's what it does in the game, and then she drops a bomb on them and blasts the fuck out of all of them at once. This is stuff you can do in the game, this is stuff you can do on the show, and I'm saying, like, boom, triumphant music, bad guys can't believe she pulled it off, on to the next fight, etc., etc. You take, like, a fun little system like that is just baked in those moments where, like, there's no way she can get out of this, and then manages to pull it off by pulling some crazy trick. Combine that with the mystery of who those shadowy masters are and why they attacked her and her guy in the first place. The gotta catch 'em all of finding and learning to use more of these functions and stuff. And an outstanding soundtrack by Darren Korb and Ashley Barrett. And baby, you got a stew going. I love this game. Game kicks ass. It's beautiful. It's got great music. It's got a lot of fun action. And I think if you took all that and did it just right, you got a pretty freaking sweet anime on your hands. I know what you're thinking, Brandon. Who you want to do this thing? Who's gonna do it? Obviously, Wit. This is a show about a futuristic song lady who battles a bunch of robots and shit. Get the people who did Vivi, baby.
Yeah.
They already know it. Plus, like, some of those scenes in there, like with the little robot cubes and shit when she was flying around, that's what the freaking process things look like.
It's got all those fancy colors. Trigger might be a good one for it, too.
Trigger would be sick, too, yeah, obviously. Really, I was like, if you look at some of the art from the show, it's got kind of that oil painting kind of look. And I don't know of any, I can't think off the top of my head of any animes or anything that have ever done like a straight up painting looking kind of art style. Like there was you know that Disney movie Tangled? Mm-hmm. So originally you can find like very grainy footage of it, but originally before it went full just here's Pixar CG looking shit, they had a plan to make it look like a living oil painting. It was based on that painting, the swing, you know, with the girl on the swing with the big dress. So they wanted to like make something that looked like that. And you can find this grainy footage of Rapunzel from that freaking movie. Like she literally looks like a painting that's just moving. It's beautiful. You can get something like that, that'd be sick. But I will take a Studio Wit Vivi style, get it going. Maybe a Trigger, maybe a Mappa. I mean, any of them really. But I would probably lean toward Wit just because of the similar character, I guess. Yeah. But yeah, also before anybody gets on my ass, yes, I did talk a lot of shit. Not a lot of shit. I talked a little bit. I picked a nit with a previous show. We talked about Demon Slayer, about how they don't let Nezuko talk. Red is mute in this game. She doesn't talk either, but also she's the main character, so she's the one driving the action. She's not just gone for 8 episodes and then shows up for a fight.
I think often it's not terribly uncommon to have a character, male or female, that if the main character
who just doesn't talk. That's the thing, is like the sword talks. The sword, like full on, is the narrator of the game, and then it's like this whole thing about how like they know each other, but you don't know that at first. And it's how like as you play the game, you learn their relationship and what exactly happened to this guy whose brain is in the sword now. It's pretty sweet. But yeah, if you haven't played friggin' Transistor, check it out. It kicks ass. If you played Hades and haven't played Transistor, please play Transistor, because it's basically proto Hades. Like, don't get me wrong, Hades is a different game because it's a roguelike and honestly does have more fun characters and stuff. But also Transistor is like where that started. Like the way you can get different boons from the gods and combine them in Hades, you can do the same thing in Transistor, and that's the whole game. That's the hook, baby, and the hook brings you back, to quote Blues Traveler. Anyway, I'm done talking about it. Roger, what do you got for us?
Mine is one of the first original like Sony PlayStation originals for the PS4.
Ooh.
First party games.
An exclusive.
Yeah, it's an exclusive game, and it really brought me into this genre game. Now, I've been playing Elden Ring. Elden Ring is a FromSoft game.
Yeah.
FromSoft games, let me give you a little history in case you don't know.
They call them Soulsborns.
Yeah, Soulsborns. I don't know what they'll call them after Elden Ring. You know, maybe Elden Soulsborne.
Oh, it's so different. It's like that, but it's open world, right? Like straight up.
It's open world Dark Souls, dude. It is Dark Souls, but open world.
I've seen some clips. It looks amazing. I got to get on it.
Oh my god, dude. But the games are notorious for being incredibly difficult. We had a conversation on the last ramble a little bit about, you know, the conversation of as to whether or not games should have an easy mode attached to them.
Sure.
These games generally are the games that bring up that conversation.
Sure.
Because they, like I said, they are notoriously difficult, and they're made to be very difficult.
Yeah.
You get rewarded by the sceneries and the lore and all the stuff that you pick up as you progress in the game, but you have to overcome sometimes almost an insurmountable challenge to get to the next part.
Yeah, man.
Or at least it feels like that. But the game that I pick of that line of games, of the Soulsborne games, is not Elden Ring, even though that I am quite enjoying that game. Mm-hmm. It is Bloodborne.
Oh, yes.
Which is, I would say that it's in my top 5 favorite games of all time, but I think it might be in my top 3.
Yeah, it's really good. It's the only one of those I've played, and I love it.
It is an amazing game, and it sucked me in to that genre of games. Now, the first time that I played it, and I believe you had a similar experience. I got my sorry ass whipped.
Absolutely destroyed.
I didn't understand. I wasn't sure what was going on.
You're saying I parry with the gun? Wait.
Yeah. But then, yeah, my good buddy Corey, who does the Let's Play with me, he kind of helped me out. We did some cooperation, taught me the ropes of how to play the games, and gave me the explanation of, kind of how you approach these games. And the fact that you have to accept that you're just going to die. And dying is kind of part of the fun.
Oh, yeah.
Even though sometimes it boils your blood. It makes your blood burn.
Wow.
Yeah. There we go.
Wow, dude.
So, let me tell you a little bit about Bloodborne.
Tell me about Bloodborne.
Bloodborne is it's a Lovecraftian style atmosphered game with those very hard mechanics. So you're gonna have your werewolves. You're gonna have your angry mobs of scarecrow looking dudes.
You got Johnny Longarm in there.
Yep. You're gonna have all sorts of abominations that look like they crawled out of some Cthulhu lore.
Yeah, dude.
And it is incredible to look at. And the lore for these games, you only get very few cutscenes, and you don't get big story breaks like you would in an RPG like Final Fantasy or Persona or something like that. In this, you have to pick up the items. You need to read items as you go. You need to complete little quest lines and then kind of put the pieces together in this game to really get the story.
If you even care.
Yeah, if you care. It's there if you do.
Yeah.
Now, I think that Bloodborne has a really cool story behind it. You really got to dig in and find that stuff. And that's part of the reason why I think it would translate to an anime so well, to kind of highlight on those things, to be a medium that can be the altar for telling the full story of Bloodborne in a cohesive fashion. It's not so much the game that you have to play and discover things. But there are so many characters in Bloodborne. Not to mention, just the art style of the game, how amazing it looks, how cool the weapons would look and stuff animated. Watching the trick weapons switch from form to form and the different ones pop up in and out as characters, that you see briefly in the game carry them. And I think a lot of those characters have very cool stories attached to them that you could explore in an episodic format.
My girl Eileen.
Yeah, Eileen the Crow.
Oh.
You got Father Gascoigne.
Big Daddy G.
Yeah, you got Garamond. You got the plain doll.
You got that weird ass freaking dude in the church. He's like some kind of withered troll looking guy.
Oh yeah.
What the fuck is he?
Yeah. You got you have the whole church quest or
everybody
whatever.
Is there, yeah. And you can fuck it up real bad.
You sure fucking can. But there are tons of characters in there, and even like some of the boss characters, Lawrence, Vicar Amelia.
Yes, Vicar Amelia.
You know, there are these giant
That'll
hulking
get
bosses, and you're like, how the fuck did this happen to somebody?
Vicar Amelia get the furries going, dog.
Yeah, they refer they talk about the old blood and ingesting the old blood and stuff like that. There are characters that talk about having eyes granted to them, like Rom, the vacuous one.
Vacuous Rom, grant us eyes.
There is so much to dig into this game, and it is atmospheric and it is spooky as hell. Not to mention, you know, the kind of, if you played a game, and I think if it were easier, maybe this game wouldn't have the same level of horror as it does. But the fact that you're always on the edge of your toes trying not to die, and the atmosphere and the different creatures you run into this game really makes it a truly unique horror experience. One that I can't compare to any other horror game or anything like that. It's more akin to like horror, not in the sense of now you have a horror style movies like Scream Plus or something like that, slasher films. It's more akin to the 30s and 40s style horror movies.
Yeah, dog.
Where it's all built around the atmosphere and the sound and just the creepy imagery that pops up. But the game itself too is in a way put in a fashion that would make well for the flow of an anime. As you explore these different characters, the Vicar Amelias, the Eileen the Crows, stuff like that, as you go through that, 5-6 episodes, say you got a 12 episode series, well, that 6th episode is a perfect break for you to realize the hook of the game, which I'll spoil for you right now, is fucking aliens all along.
Yeah, dog.
It's giant fucking aliens that have been watching you the whole time. Now, if this sounds like everything that I love,
if
you
we
were
say Cthulhu,
absolutely right. Yeah.
And you didn't think giant aliens when you heard Cthulhu? Come on, man.
Yeah.
When you heard Lovecraftian, if you didn't think giant aliens, come on, man.
Yeah,
That's
and then it really diving into the lore of Amygdala.
Yeah, dog.
And Ereberitas.
That weird ass eye thing.
Cause, or some say Cosm.
I was just looking up that quote. Yes, so good. Fucking Mikolash has all the good quotes.
Yeah,
and you hear him constantly while he's chasing his dumb ass.
God, what is it called? The winter.
Yeah, the thing in the tower that you drop.
Yeah, the big tower.
And then you can go down and see him and do a little.
Yeah, make contact.
Gotta make contact, baby.
So there's so many cool things and just lore that could be explored in such a nice way. And they could animate it. Oh my god, it would look so beautiful. If I would have Studio Mappa probably do it.
Yeah.
They handle the new Attack on Titan. They handle Chainsaw Man is coming out.
Oh yeah.
They've done a lot of very high profile. I mean, you guys have seen Mappa animes before. You know they don't fuck around.
Yeah.
But seeing all the characters come to life, seeing the stories be told in a little more depth, seeing the weapons and stuff move in and out as the sparks click as they transform, stuff like that. It just is a giant, awesome world that is begging to be explored further than just the video game.
Maybe.
And to be fair, they have made some comic books. I have some of them.
Oh, nice. You got that game.
Yeah.
They got a straight up board game that you can play single player if you want to.
Yep, you can play it single player. Me and Corey played it together, and it is quite tough.
I bet. I mean, it kind of has to be, right?
Yeah. But it's and the board game is awesome too because it plays like D&D, but the DM is a deck of cards that comes at random.
Nice.
Once you open up tiles or land on certain spaces, it'll tell you, okay, you need to go to this card. So you have hundreds of times of playing this game with it being unique.
Nice. Sounds sick.
Yeah, I loved it, man. I thought it was awesome. I got some of the expansions for it. The minis are cool. There's everything. There's nothing uncool about Bloodborne.
It's just neat.
I can't think of, obviously this is the game that I chose because literally I can't think of anything that I would want more. And like this did not take me very long. Like you said, you had to put a lot of thought into yours. Mine was in my mind immediately. Like, oh god, it's got to be Bloodborne. I can't think of something that And Bloodborne players are also very passionate too about Bloodborne.
Here's my question.
If you like Bloodborne, you like Bloodborne.
Oh hell yeah, I love Bloodborne. Here's my question though. So for this hypothetical anime, do you have it be just like you're here, your character is here, they're in the dream, they're going through the world, etc., etc. Do you play into it all the fact that like they can die and come back like time loop style?
I think you do, but I think that, you know, for the sake of an anime, you add a little bit of weight to it or something like that. Yeah. Where, you know, in the game, you mechanically, if you die, you lose your blood echoes.
And you got to get them back.
Your souls, and you got to go get them back. And if you die before you get them back, then they're gone.
They're gone forever.
Yeah, so maybe if you do something where, you know, you die and then you die again, it's done. Or whatever.
Everybody lives twice.
But you can still go to the other side of the world or whatever via the lantern or something like that.
Yeah. Pretty sick.
That's kind of what I think I would do. I don't know. Maybe I should put more thought into that, but I'm sure there are talented studios out there that would love to take this idea and run with it if FromSoft would let them.
We get an executive producer credit is all we're saying.
Yeah. You know, for bringing it to the table, for really putting the idea out there in case they haven't, you know.
Hell yeah, boy.
But damn, it would be awesome. I don't know how it would handle the reoccurring death, but I think that's how you just add some sort of weight to it. You allow it to happen once or so, and then add weight to it. You know, like
fuck yeah.
Yeah, something fucking terrible happens. I don't know. You lose all of your gear. And
you could do a really sweet like for like the whole first episode, maybe second, third episode, like. Damn, this hunter's going through like, ooh, tough challenges, but getting through them, like, oh, triumphant. And then you have one where like they're, you know, in a big fight and it's like, oh, but they're going to pull it off. Just straight up dies. Mm-hmm. Oh. Then you wake up.
Yeah.
That game does kick ass. I love me some Bloodborne. So atmospheric and just the sound effects and shit. I'm never going to be able to unhear when you first like, you load into a level or whatever, that is like you stand up next to the lantern. That freaking like bell toll sound.
Yeah,
so
it's
good.
got the little kind of like chimey sound right below it. Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, it's good, man. And there are so many unique designs in that game.
Yeah, dog.
It just begs. I mean, people are still make art for this game, you know, like create their own personal art to this day. Which is not uncommon for property, but man, people make some really intense stuff for this game.
Hell yeah.
And also people are still exploring this game and finding new things to this day. And this game came out in 2014.
Yeah, there was a thing I saw about how like these people, like with use of some hacks and whatnot, found that like that door where you fight I think it's the cleric beast, like the first boss. That door like was supposed to connect to like this other spot that's closer to the church. You know, where like you go from the church and then like there's a big cliff or whatever. There's a room over there that leads to nothing and there's just another door there and it doesn't open. That was like supposed to connect over here originally, blah, 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 all this other stuff. It's really interesting. Like the little things that like did or didn't make it into.
Yeah.
There's also huge fan projects. I don't know if you've seen Bloodborne PSX.
Oh, I have.
Holy shit, dude.
It looks awesome.
Are you fucking kidding me? They've just remade Bloodborne by like PlayStation 1 style. It looks badass.
If you like Bloodborne,
you fucking love Bloodborne. Yeah. It's killer. Bloodborne's really good. Yeah, love Bloodborne. You got any honorable mentions before we go on in the ramble?
Yeah, dude, we could hit a few honorable mentions. You know, let's state for honorable mentions, there may or may not be already an adaptation, and we just don't know. We just don't know about it.
I know a couple. Like I was literally like looking at like, oh man, it'd be cool if they did like a, you know what game I like, that Ace Attorney. Oh wait, they did an Ace Attorney. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what's almost basically an anime already is that Persona. Oh, they did Persona, huh?
Yeah.
Wow, okay, yeah.
Never saw it coming.
So dumb. The only, like I mentioned a few up top, those were mine. Roguelikes, let's see, Untitled Chapter, Oni. I had like rhythm games. You could just call it Rock Band, call it Guitar Hero, and have it be about a musician.
Can I please get a Silent Hill anime?
God, that'd be sick.
That'd be awesome. Metal Gear Solid anime. Can I please get Snake in the anime?
That would be pretty sick. The only other one I had was one of my favorite games from a few years ago. really weird little indie title that I fucking adore called Paradise Killer. I think I told you about a little bit, which I mostly bring up because one, I do think it'd be pretty cool, although a little confusing because that game is labyrinthian in its freaking mystery that you unfold. But also, they just announced today as we're recording this that it's coming to PlayStation and Xbox. So I'm going to play it again with added stuff and a new soundtrack edition. So it's going to be sick. Paradise Killer kicks ass. Check out Paradise Killer.
Yeah, I think I would like to go back to a good young game that I loved to play when I was a kid with my brothers and stuff. Zombies Ate My Neighbors, the anime.
Jesus Christ.
That'd be fucking awesome, right?
That would be pretty wild. Maybe.
Maybe. They did do an American show for Bucky O'Hare, but I would love an anime for it. I'd probably be the only one that would watch it, but
this fucking guy. Jesus, we spent a lot of time trying to beat the last level of that one at the bar one time.
It took me a good while to do it at the on the Let's Play too.
That shit is rough.
Yeah,
that game does not fuck around.
Dude.
Oh man, I was looking around your room. You got so many freaking video games.
Yeah,
in here.
there's lots of games hiding around here. Eternal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem, just got that on the GameCube.
Hell yeah.
I'm trying to think of some other non-horror ones.
Horrors.
I had one in mind just a second ago too.
Fucking you know what I love? I think actually probably my real number one.
Time Crisis, man, that would make a sick. Fucking awesome anime.
Time Crisis is sick. Probably one of my I think maybe my actual number one favorite game is it's on the N64. It's called Mischief Makers. Very really got me into everything that's in that is basically shit I love in anime. Like, it's weird. It features a main character who's this robot girl, and then at the end, you beat all these different bosses, and then they all fight you at once, but also they've fallen in love with you. And I'm like, this is great. The game's so strange. There's a whole thing where you do the Olympics, and the final event of the Olympics is you fight a cat playing dodgeball. And then you have to do a boss battle where you chase down a dude on a motorcycle who shoots missiles at you, and you're riding the cat to chase him down. That game's incredible.
Yeah.
Check out Mischief Makers. This is now a video game podcast. Go on.
Yeah. Dude, a great one. I think a lot of people might say this. Please let us know in the comments or send us an email, whatever it takes to let us know what you would make. What
hell
video
yes.
games you would make into an anime. But I feel like there's no way to dance around Earthbound or the Mother series.
Oh, obviously. Yeah, hell yes.
But God, I mean,
those would be so weird.
Could you imagine? Who is it that does Mob Psycho's at Bones?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, have them do it. Ooh.
That would be sick.
Now that would be a fuck. Nintendo doesn't like to do anything with their properties beyond.
And Ness is
beyond making the one game at a time that they do.
And also this Mario movie that's probably going to suck ass.
Yeah.
Chris Pratt. He's so cool.
Yeah. He's so cool.
Fucking hell. All right. Well, yes. I think we about got it. Please let us know what you would like to make in animes. We're going to bust on into the ramble. Yeah. Next time, don't know what we're doing.
Next time, we're going to talk about we're kind of hitting the mid to late season or whatever.
We're about 3/4 into this one.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about the things that we're still checking out, which is that Sabuki Bisso and Brandon's probably gonna drop off one, but we'll talk about it in the
we'll talk about it in the ramble, but we'll talk about shows that we're still watching and why we think you should check them out if you haven't already. And then who knows after that? Who knows?
Kind of gives us an easy out. We can just talk to you guys. That's what we come here for.
Yeah, we're here to chat. But by all means, leave us a comment wherever you are, telling us what you'd love to see and turn into an anime. All the links are in the description below.
If you have any ideas for something that a property, like a TV show or a movie that you would love to see get an anime adaptation, something like that, a toy line, whatever.
Fuck it up.
Give us something fucking weird. We'll do it.
Give us the weird shit. We'll talk about it.
We'll consider it.
We'll consider it. Like we're gonna make it happen for real? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about if you give us something like that we won't do, probably. What's the best porn?
What the fuck?
You get it? You see what I'm saying?
I guess.
Yeah.
You little weirdo.
What's the best, kitchen appliance that you would turn into an anime,
Obviously, fucking Cuisinart, bro.
Yeah.
Love Cuisinart.
Dude. You get
Slap chop?
You get the sandwich oven. You said Cuisinart, it reminded me of Quiznos. And you have the sponge monkeys on the show.
We like these subs.
All right, we're way off the rails.
Jesus Christ, we're not in the ramble yet, bro. Yeah, leave a comment if you're on the YouTube. Check out the Discord. All the links are in the description. Thank you so much for listening. We love you. We love you. We're gonna get on out of here. Full plugs at the end of the show, and love you.